And a mum mentioned this, a couple of people mentioned this week. Earlier in the week, a mum asked if other people's children behave differently or better at school or with other people, with the babysitter, that kind of thing, to how they are with them at home, because they were feeling like they're failing despite trying to do everything right. And doing their best to help their child and meet their child's needs. And a mum in the group mentioned a couple of people mentioned the Coke bottle effect. Why does that happen? And I think this is a fantastic analogy for how the stresses of the day, how it can all build up and then bubble over. Just like every time something happens, the other phrase is like the straw that broke the camel's back. I think the Coke bottle's such a visual analogy, isn't it? Because every time something happens during the day, the bottle gets shaken. And then, at the end of the day, when you take the lid off and it's been shaken all the time through the day, of course it explodes. Now, if you're watching this, let me know in the comments if you've ever had your child getting just erupting when you pick them up from school or you pick them up from nursery. I've been supporting parents for many years now, for like 13 years. And this is something that I've heard repeatedly. It's like, nurseries say they've had a really great day, or schools say they've had a really great day and that they've been fab, or the babysitter says they've been fab, or your mum or in-laws who are looking after them say, oh yeah, they've been great, they've done everything I needed them to do, I've asked them to do, there's been no issues. And when they come home, they explode. Well, it's because they've been keeping themselves together, and because it doesn't feel safe, it's not okay to do that with other people. So you are their safe place, your safe space. They feel comfortable to be fully themselves. They feel comfortable to cry, to get upset. So if you can imagine, your child's at school and they go out for break time and they come up with an idea to play a game and other people don't want to play it. They feel really upset. They feel like crying, but they push it down. They don't cry, and they push it down. The bottle's gotten shaken a few times there, right? And then, so all these things that happen through the day. And so often what can happen is you get home and, let's say they want a drink, right? They want some apple juice and you don't have any apple juice. And you say, well, we don't have any apple juice, but we do have some orange. You can have that instead. And they erupt, right? Well, they really wanted the apple juice, but it's not about the apple juice. It's about all of those other times during the day when they've had to keep together, when they've had to push their emotions down, when they've held themselves together, and it's just all too much. And they can't verbalize what that is because they don't understand it themselves, right? It's all the things of the day piling up on top of each other until when you take the lid off, it goes everywhere. So that is why they are different at home to how they are with you. And now when you add in a neurodivergent brain into that, so autism or ADHD, or then you add that in and you get more of these eruptions, more of these meltdowns, people often call them, or people can call them tantrums. But this is why they happen. So if you've ever been wondering, why is this happening? That's why it happens. And it is totally normal. And I think the difficulty with this can be that often if you're somebody who is wondering about your child and looking to get a diagnosis for autism, the difficulty can be not feeling believed, because at school they don't do that. They keep it for at home. So school aren't seeing that picture, and part of a diagnosis often is how they are at school, is the school coming in with that. So I think that can be really tricky as well. And this sense of this feeling not believed, or feeling, you know, as a parent, it's such a challenging job, and when other people don't see it, you can doubt yourself, and that's where feeling like you're failing or feeling like you're doing something wrong can come in. So I want you to know that you're not alone. It is normal, and you know, I think all parents experience this to a certain degree with their children, and for ourselves. You know, a parent I was working with the other day was saying that they had emotions coming up, and therefore they were lashing out at their partner, or they were lashing out at their children, you know, being grumpy, being snappy, and then we can feel really guilty about it. So we have this as parents as well. So what can you do? What can help with this? Well, I mean, all the work that I do is that's partly the basis, is this acknowledging our feelings, accepting our feelings, so that they can move through. Like when my husband makes kombucha, and I have had times where a kombucha bottle has fizzed over, has exploded, and I'm trying to close the bottle and you can't close it. The pressure is too much and it just goes everywhere, right? And it's the same with our emotions. We have to allow them to flow, to be expressed. You can't put the lid back on. Yeah, so you've got to let them all out.